and every hour of each and every day, Dalton McGuinty spends over $2 million more than he collects in revenue. At the current pace of overspending, he's on track to double the debt in just 2 short years. Are you making Ontario seniors and families pay your record sales tax increase because you can't control your record spending, Premier?
Excellent.
Premier. Speaker to the Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, like governments around the world, when Ontario went into the downturn that we went into last year, we chose to spend 3% of gross domestic product to invest $32.7 billion in infrastructure and create and maintain some 300,000 jobs for Ontarians, Mr. Speaker. That was the appropriate choice to make. That's what the federal government did. That's what the government of the United States did, of the United Kingdom, of France, of Italy, of Germany. And, Mr. Speaker, what have the credit rating agencies said about Ontario? That in spite of the challenges, Mr. Speaker, this province is in good shape and poised to come out of this downturn bigger, better, stronger than before, Mr. Speaker. We will continue to invest in our communities and our people and create jobs for those who have suffered setbacks.
Supplementary.
Why don't you just stand up and say, my name is Dwight and I have a spending problem? With Dalton McGuinty, scandal doesn't just happen. Wasteful overspending is all part of the master plan. Every other jurisdiction in Canada is pursuing aggressive deficit reduction plans that bring them back to balance within 5 years. But Dalton McGuinty ambles along, planning eye-popping deficits for the next 8 years. And while he says the deficits in HST are about schools, hospitals and jobs, he has not built any long-term care beds. He's cutting nurses and independent pharmacies, and he's lost over 300,000 manufacturing sector jobs. So why are Ontario seniors and families paying your greedy HST?
Excellent question.
Stop the clock, please. I have a big smile on my face. Just ask the honourable members to come to order, please. Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, just over a year and a quarter ago, the Government of Ontario stood and protected Chrysler and General Motors, Mr. Speaker. General Motors announced just the other day another $245 million investment in the City of St. Catharines, which is so ably represented by the member for St. Catharines, Mr. Speaker. That was the right thing to do. That will create jobs. That will pay benefits, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the challenges that our economy went through, we're starting to see again 9 consecutive months of growth in jobs. We still are not back to pre-recession levels, but we're moving in that direction. We're moving faster. And what do the private sector economists say? The private sector economists say that Canada will lead the world and that Ontario will lead Canada, Mr. Speaker. Unlike the member opposite, we believe in a strong future for this province. We believe in jobs. We will work to create more jobs and help.
Thank you.
Members will please come to order. We would remind those that are offering interjections, it's much more helpful if they're in their seats. Final supplementary.
The real scandal is that the HST doesn't even begin to fill the hole Dalton McGuinty keeps digging and digging for our children with his runaway spending. And it cannot be forgotten that he did not tell Ontario seniors and families about his record income tax increase, the so-called health tax, before he did it. He didn't tell them about his record sales tax increase, the HST, before he did it. How worried should seniors and families be about the fact that McGuinty Liberals are signaling plans to bring in a carbon tax, a water tax, road tolls, a second health tax, and according to his strategic advisor Andrew Steele, a rate hike to the HST?
Excellent. Minister.
We're getting rid of puppies. We're getting rid of puppies.
And we're getting rid of puppies, yeah. What a flight of fancy that was.
Order. Members will please come to order. I can arrange express flights for any member to get to Manitoba or Quebec. Gladly. Minister?
Mr. Speaker, let me remind the member opposite of what the Conference Board of Canada says. It says Ontario's economic rebound is being supported by public fiscal spending by the Government of Ontario, Mr. Speaker. And let me remind the member opposite about what one of his colleagues, the member Mike Wallace for Burlington, said. Here's what Mike Wallace said. As Conservatives, we're supportive of a combined tax. It's not a tax grab. That is a misnomer to mislead, divert the public, to get them excited about something that's not accurate. He's talking about you, sir. He's telling you that you're not being completely candid with the people of Ontario. And what does that member's former leader say? Conservatives are mad at me because I've acknowledged the comments made by organizations like TD. There are economic benefits to this planned HST, which there are. I do not.
Stop the call.